Welcome to podcast number 4. I'm Tom Miller, and this is Life Sucks and Then You Don't. All right, today I want to talk about the habit we get into of validating and justifying our existence. What I mean is, we need to have this value or this meaning or this identity in order for us to feel good about just existing, about being. We're not good enough because we haven't proven ourselves yet. We haven't reached our goals yet. We haven't done what we're capable of yet. And from my own experience, what I've spent years doing is trying to prove myself as I go, trying to prove that I'm worthy of you to watch this video. I'm worthy of you to be a client or a customer, or I'm worthy to be an employee or a boss. It's a constant state of proving instead of improving, of validating our value in life instead of just accepting it as intrinsic and inherent. So if you are someone who knows that you are capable of more joy, more freedom, more love, more light, more life, and perhaps you know you're capable of doing more in the world than you're currently doing, I get it, and you're not alone. And that's going to be the whole purpose of this video. So I think it's going to be important why this happens. When we need to prove and justify our existence, like there's a reason I'm here, and there's a reason that I'm not where I need to be yet. There's a reason I'm not further along yet. That's the thing. Why am I not further along? Why is that person so much further ahead? Why do they have so many YouTube subscribers and such a great business and such a great life? And why do I feel like I am just lagging? Well, I better catch up. So I'm going to prove how good I am. And I'm going to prove it when I make videos. I'm going to prove it when I talk to people. It's like this constant state of proving and validating and justifying our existence. And then it's looking back and thinking of all the reasons why you're behind. I'm behind because of the divorce, my childhood trauma, my addictions, my failed businesses. I'm behind because of, it goes on and on. We're looking for the lists to either justify why we're not where we want to be yet, or to validate that we deserve to be existing and living. Neither one of them are necessary. And no one cares. No one cares. Everyone has their own personal truth. And the best thing I can do is align with that personal truth and have that align with the truth, with purpose and meaning, and lead with truth, lead with love and light. Can't go wrong. Authenticity. So if you struggle with this, and you struggle with it to the point where it's almost debilitating, and it's caused you to self-sabotage in life many, many times, and you're like me and you're over 50, or maybe you're only 25, but you feel like every time things are going well and they fall down, one, it's a nervous system issue. Second, it's a neuroscience issue. We get these programs wired into our brain, and those become our default brain network, and we just keep reverting back to them. But let's talk about this feeling of needing to be worthy, needing to prove ourselves, needing to justify and validate our existence. I'm here because I went through this, and this, and I know this, and I have this certification, and I've had this experience, and I've had this successes, so I deserve to be here. I'm basically describing my life experience up until just recently. And maybe you can relate. And maybe you've had like PTSD since you were a little kid. But we can't use that as an excuse or an alibi to continue the same personal truth and stories that are making us feel miserable and stuck. At some point, we have to let those go and not give them power anymore. And I am not discrediting any pain, any trauma, any abuse, any loss, any sort of blisters, bruises that life has given you or anyone else. I'm not discounting them. But there comes a point where those bruises, those blisters, get to be transmuted, transformed, alchemized, blisters into blessings, bruises into blessings. Because we all have a purpose. And our purpose is really simple. Here's a little secret. We all have the same purpose. And that purpose is to share our light. And light is that energy that you don't see. It's our truth. And it's the truth the truth into our experience and our body and our mind, and shared through our perspective. We all have access to the same truth, and we all have the same purpose. Align with our truth, face our challenges, our difficulties, our past programs, our old stories, our blisters, our bruises, and in facing them, we transmute them into blessings and share those blessings with others. Literally, just by getting aligned, facing our truth, and then sharing this experience with others, whether it's just in the energy we have when we walk around, whether it's the way we talk to people when we talk, whether it's creating content like this, sharing our blisters that become our blessings with others is our life purpose. And that may be writing a book, that may be starting a business, that may be creating lots of content that inspire people. And inevitably, this will lead to the prosperity you want in life. It will lead to peace, joy, and truth, the true freedom. And you don't have to know what the end product is of following your purpose path. You don't have to justify finally finding it and getting on your purpose path. Nor do we need to keep using our past traumas, pain, and shame as an alibi or an excuse not to take the next action towards truth and purpose, and just releasing the pattern and program of justifying our existence, validating our worthiness, proving ourselves at every stop to every person, and asking yourself, am I good enough? Is this good enough? Will I ever be good enough? So a little bit about me and the blisters I'm actively, currently transmuting into blessings. Because I don't think it's safe to say, oh, they're all gone, I'm 100% great. No, I still notice them. I still observe them. I still recognize them when they appear. And mine started early. My biological mom was 17 when she had me. She was in a penitentiary for the mentally ill. Her and another man broke out of that penitentiary. They literally broke out. They injured a guard on the way, breaking out. And I was conceived when they were on the run. This helped me to figure this out, because why do I wake up every morning in a state of fight or flight? Why do I wake up every morning like in high alert mode? Why do I always look for the thing that's going to go wrong next? Why am I always on guard? That has been my life MO. And it was wired into my nervous system when I was in the womb. And I love you, Mom. And I'm thankful that she's still alive. We've talked about this. She didn't have the facilities, the capacity to love herself. And it was hard for her to love me. And my childhood was not conducive to peace, joy, and love. One of my big memories is my stepdad. I woke up, I think I was about maybe 12 years old, and it was just loud. They were screaming. And I came out of my room, and my stepdad was hitting my mom really hard with like a belt, or yeah, I think it was a belt or his cane or something, like hard. And she was down I remember she was by the door, covering up and cowering, and he was hitting her. And I was just thinking, oh my God. And I yelled, stop it. And he yelled at me and said, I better go back to my room or else. And my mom's crying and pleading. And she's like, go back to your room, Tommy, go back to your room. And I was just like, no. And I was so scared. And I felt really helpless. I felt really sad. I felt really like, and I always think, gosh, I wish I would have been braver and just went and tackled them. But I didn't. And there's lots of things that happened through growing up that, I don't know, as a kid, you can't fix it. I've let myself off the hook, but it definitely impacts your nervous system. I mean, you're scared. There was lots of times in the middle of the night where loud sounds, yelling and screaming. But when they were intoxicated, they were really calm and nice. In any case, I spent most of my life proving that my childhood wouldn't impact me. I was the first in my family to go to college. I was the first in my family to become a teacher and to be successful financially. I'm not going to be like them. And spending my whole life trying to outrun what I wanted to avoid and pretending as if it had no impact on me. And by outrunning it and avoiding it, I mean trying to earn a lot of money, try to have a really, just being fully transparent here, really hot, good looking girlfriend, really good life, really nice house, good car, good stereo system, all those things. And I felt safer when I had stuff, but I never felt at ease or peaceful. Like at this moment, I'm peaceful and I'm authentic and I'm telling my truth. But most of my life, not like that at all. I was faking it. I was acting happy. I was acting like everything was okay. And I was always trying to accomplish something that would make me feel safer. And then I was about 30 years old, I found out about drugs. Because I was that guy through high school. I'll never do drugs. I'll never be like my mom. I'll never be like my parents. And I say parents, but I don't know my biological dad. More on him in a different episode. I did try to know him. I did try to find him. But I'm going to direct attention back to right now. I did not want to be like them. I knew that when I was growing up that it could be much better. And I resented them for not giving us a better life because I had three younger brothers from my stepdad. And I was the oldest, obviously, not from my stepdad. And believe me, he treated me like I was not his stepson. But after I figured out drugs and discovered drugs, I used my childhood as an excuse, as an alibi to justify continuous and repetitive drug use. Because after I figured out how good I could feel by getting loaded, I just continued to do it. And my life went, I mean, when your nervous system gets messed up at an early age, and then you find drugs that almost instantly make it feel better, I'm like, why can't I feel this way all the time? I felt entitled to feel better all the time. And I would use the childhood, I hate the word trauma, by the way. I just don't like it. We just use it so much. And it's just, we use it as an excuse and alibi and has this big, serious, permanent X on it. Like, I had trauma, so it's going to always be with me. And it's like, we have the memories of that painful experience. And if we continue to allow those memories and the responses and reactions that resulted from them to rule our lives, then we're going to be traumatized forever. So I prefer just crappy childhood, crappy occurrences, crappy life events. Sometimes life sucks. It's how we react to it and learn from it and grow from it that matters. I know that's cliche, but it's like at some point we have to reframe it. At some point, I had to stop using my childhood as an excuse and an alibi to get loaded so to the extent that I lost jobs, to get loaded to the extent that I was not present in my relationships, to self sabotage, and to continue the pattern and program of validating my existence, proving myself, justifying that I'm good enough. Here's the truth: we are all connected to the same universal truth. Call it God, call it the universe, call it the vortex, call it the quantum field. And we all have access to that unlimited supply of intelligence, love, and life. Love, light, and life. But our own mental, emotional programs, layers of pain, shame, and blame get stacked so high, we cut ourselves off from that. Now, based on our childhood and our life experiences, our nervous systems are all wired a bit differently. But here's what I've realized. The more time I spend in the calm, mindful, aligned state, the more my nervous system aligns. And the more I go into the pain, to the things that suck, and I just feel it and I face it without creating the stories that and rewinding them and restarting them. You don't have to pretend it didn't happen. It's just a choice not to let the past become my present. Because here's what I realized. There's the truth, and then there's universal truths, and then we all have our own personal truth, our personal story. And if you are not enjoying your life experience today, if you don't like your relationship, your housing situation, your finances, you don't like where you're headed, you don't feel like you're going towards anything yet, it's all because of your personal truth, the personal story. Here's the beautiful thing about life. At any given time, we can decide to change our personal truth. That means changing our beliefs about ourselves and the world, changing our reactions to what life throws at us, and using our blisters and bruises as blessings. First, it helps us. And then if we can share that experience, we are fulfilling our life purpose. Everyone is born with a light that is inherently joy, love, clarity of mind. It has everything we need, but it gets cluttered in our neural programming, in our neuroscience, in our subconscious mind, which is where all the emotions come from. And then we keep reacting habitually the same way to the same things. When life sucks, oh, we constrict. We can change. Now, I am nowhere near where I was today. I do not have the financial means that I had 8 years ago. Okay. I feel the fear of not getting there again. Okay. Feel it. It sucks. So I let the feeling go. I can identify, oh, that's fear of lack. Fearing lack creates more lack. So the sooner I can say, I choose success, I choose purpose, I choose alignment. And then when I say the most, I choose truth. I'm going to align with truth. Now, this is me sharing my light. And light, by the way, for me means, because there's levels to energy. Everything's energy. Every cell in our body is made of energy. This, let's see, this heart I use as a reminder to love, energy. Even dense solid matter is energy, vibrating. And then there's the energy we don't see. That's the quantum quarks, those electrons, photons, we don't see them. We don't see the spiritual energy, the metaphysical energy. It's there. We don't see the quantum field. It's there. So when we align with that level of light by transmuting our own blisters into blessings, we are sharing that light. Like, you don't have to make a YouTube video to share your light. You don't have to write a book to share your light. You don't have to do a weekly blog. All you have to do is exist. Because when you level up your state of energy closer to the truth, you inherently, automatically are sharing that light. You're sharing light right now. We're always creating. We're always sharing light. And that level of light we share depends on our personal truth. To wrap this up, none of us, not a single person on the planet, needs to justify our existence, needs to prove anything, and needs to become or do something or have something to be worthy. We are as we are at this moment. All of us have a purpose, and it's the same: to level up our light by transmuting our blisters and bruises into blessings, and to share a higher vibration level of consciousness, to share a higher vibration of light. I call it light sharing. And when you start sharing a higher level of light, who knows what opportunities, what pathways you see? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's ahead for me. I just know leading with truth and a higher level of light, love, and life is the path. It's the path for everyone. I hope you got some value out of this. And if so, please comment below. And if you would like my Find Your Purpose PDF worksheet, it'll remind you what I just told you. Just comment purpose in the comments. And any feedback you have, any questions you have about the video, I'm happy to help. Because that's what it's all about. Sharing our light to help others alleviate suffering and find their joy again. We don't have to prove ourselves. The fact that we are alive and we awaken this morning is all the proof we ever need. I promise you that. It took me over 50 years to learn it. I'm giving it to you now. You don't have to get thumped in the head, self-sabotage yourself, get addicted, go to prison, get divorced, and all the things I've gone through. Just know that sometimes life sucks, and then you don't. This is me sharing a higher level of light. I invite you to do the same. Till next video, go forth and do good.